So continuing on from our work last week, today we are going to be adding some control measures to our risk assessment. And that's things that we can do to make our event less risky. So they're things that will make it less likely that something will go wrong. They'll make the outcome less severe if something does go wrong, and they'll try to prevent some of these risks from happening at all. So here's what that might look like. So my first one that we discussed last week was people might want to pay using 20 or 50 pound notes. So we might run out of money or not give them the correct change. And I've said that was quite likely to happen, and it would be a 3 out of 5 if it did happen in terms of severity. So control measures, what can I do to stop that from happening or to make it less severe? The first one is going to be to have plenty of change on hand to make sure that even if people do want to pay with big amounts of money, we can give them the change that they need. The second thing that we're going to do is as soon as we receive money from someone, especially if they're paying in coins, we're going to sort it. So we're going to have a box of money and we're going to sort each type of coin into a different place in the box so that we can easily find and give change. We're going to have a quick training session for everyone who'll be at our bake sale on how to calculate change. And also we're going to make sure there's an adult available who will step in if there's a problem. So if someone thinks that we've given them the wrong change and there's a disagreement about change, we'll have an adult there on hand who can help us settle it. My second possible risk was that it might be hot and therefore the cakes might melt. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our cakes in a fridge until the end of the day. We'll only take cakes out of the fridge as we need them. So if, for example, we've got lots and lots of trays of brownies, we don't need to put them all out at the same time. We'll take one tray out at a time. That way, even if it's hot, they won't be spending that long in the heat. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to try and find a spot in school where we can set up our bake sale in the shade. The last one as people might want more information about the charity before they buy anything. And so what we're going to do to control that, to prevent that from being a risk, we're going to make sure that everyone who's selling cakes knows what the charity is and what the charity does. And the other thing is we're going to make some leaflets available with more information available at the sale. So those things are going to help make our bake sale less risky. Now what we need to do is we need to fill in these last few columns over here. And that's thinking about, now that we've put those controls in place, is there still any risk left? And we're going to use the same scales that we have been over the past few weeks to do that. So, thinking about the first one, now that I've put all those control measures in place, I think it's actually still quite likely that at some point on the day, someone's going to be given the wrong change. We do have an adult there who can step in, but I think it's still quite likely that something will go wrong. However, we've definitely made it less likely than before, so it's gone from a 5 to a 3, and I don't think the outcome will be as severe now because we've got lots of change. We're unlikely to run out of change, so I've put that down to a 2. Next one, about it being a hot day, I've definitely made it less likely that the cakes are going to melt now. They're going to spend most of the day in the fridge. They won't be out for long at all. They will still be out for some amount of time, so I can't say that the risk is 0 or 1. There is still some risk there, but it's definitely less than it used to be. So I've changed that to a 2. And then down here, people wanting more information about the charity. I actually think that I've done a really good job of eliminating that risk as much as I possibly can. So we have information there about the charity, and everyone who's working there will know about it. So that means that it's really unlikely that we will have this problem now.